Welcome to Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show, with your host, Kinte and Shannon. This program hosts a weekly panel of men and women who discuss topics such as dating, the workplace, family, spirituality, cheating, and of course, sex. Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. This show is simulcasted live audio and video between the website indieradio.org and YouTube, which allows listeners all over the world to gather together to tackle challenging relationship issues. And now here is your host, Shannon and Kinte.
Hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show. I am one of your hosts, Kinte, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm so happy to be here with you tonight on this holiday, Veterans Day. And we have yet again another great show to talk to you about. But before we get into that, let me introduce my wonderful co-host, the one and only Shannon. How you doing?
Hi, good evening, all the way from Key West. How are you?
I'm excellent. I've had a great day, a great weekend, and I'm just happy to be here to chop it up with you.
Likewise. I look forward to the show tonight.
Yeah, and we have some sad news to report tonight. The great Stan Lee passed away.
I know.
Some of you guys might know some of his work in the field of comic books, and now that comic book films are really big. But yeah, so Stan Lee died. I believe he was in his 90s, right? Something like that.
95.
95 years old.
I think so.
Yeah. As a writer, I'm sure like the idea of having one character to become, something that people talk about. But this guy had tons of characters that people. Yeah. Yeah. So he did pass away. So rest in peace to Stan Lee. All right. So let's get into the show tonight. We have a great panel, and I'm looking forward to chopping it up with this panel. I'm going to start off with a returning champ. She was on the show last week, and she's back once again. It's the one and only Amira. How you doing, Amira?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. Yes, I'm so glad to have you on and looking forward to hearing you on this episode.
Me too.
Also joining us, we have, she is a returning champ. It's been a while since she's been on the show, but it's the one and only Dainie. How you doing, Dainie?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm so glad that you are here. And for those who may not, it's been a while since you've been on, who may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
That's a very open-ended question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I am on the show today to do some live readings. I've been doing readings since, I guess about 2012 I started doing it. It's sort of a family tradition. It's been passed down. So I mainly do it online, but once in a while I'll do it in the real world as well. And Kinte and I met via Second Life. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. And you, you've been on the show, I think this is your fourth time?
Something like that. Yeah. Fourth or fifth, I forget, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's
different
cool
topics.
To have that. And I think, aren't you like Finn's like cousin or something? What is it?
In Second Life Roleplay, Infinite is my uncle.
That's so bizarre.
Hey, don't judge.
That's funny, but I'm so glad that you are here, and I'm looking forward to having your thoughts as well on this show. Now, what this show is about is, to be honest with you, I was really unaware about this topic. I knew a little bit. You're gonna laugh at me. Really, the only bit I knew about it was the late great Miss Cleo back in the day. For those, I'm sure you guys remember, Call Me Now, Miss Cleo, and she was really the only person I really knew much about, and of course Dionne Warwick. And our first co-host, her name was Ecumenis. She was the first person to want to bring this onto our show. And, I didn't really know what to think about it. And that show, once we had that show, the show did very well. And so I was like, okay, well, I mean, I got a lot of good insights that I never thought I would have had, and I thought it was very interesting. So it's been a topic we've brought back on the show a couple of times now, and it's good to now. I feel like we're in a different era now with the show than we have been before. So I feel like this is a good time to go back into this topic, and we have two wonderful ladies to do that. Now, Amira, this is her first time really talking about that on this show. So hold on a second, sending the link out for people who are asking for it. Okay, so okay, so I think a good place to start off at, and we'll start off with you, Dainie, is I know you talked about this is something that's been passed down to you. Kind of give us a little insight in exactly what your gifts are, and talk a little bit more about how you feel like it's been passed down to you.
Well, it is actually a tradition in my family. So I don't know how far back it goes, but I do know that my grandmother did card readings. My mom did a little bit as well. And then I've started doing it, about 5, 6 years ago. I mainly do it online just because of sort of the stigma that sort of comes around with it. Um, like you were talking about Miss Cleo and whatnot, like it's, there's sort of a negative connotation when you talk about it sometimes. So I generally keep it to sort of trusted friends, or I do it online. As far as the actual skills or gifts that I'm using, so actually reading tarot cards is something that I had to sort of study to learn how to interpret them. But there's also an intuitive component to it. So I think for me, it's more along the lines of clairsentience, so more feelings, somewhat visions a little bit, dreams. A lot of stuff will come through dreams as well. So that's sort of where it comes from for me. And also a little bit of channeling as well, too, occasionally. Not always, but once in a while, something will come through. So.
Okay. Now, Amira, I mean, you're another one of those people who have a lot of tools in your toolbox, and it's one of them. So explain exactly how, readings and whatnot is a part of what you do, and kind of give us an idea exactly of what you do and how you would describe yourself.
Okay, so I would not I don't like the term psychic, first of all. And I would say that I've been gifted. I would use the language of gifted. I know my whole life I would be able to touch certain things and kind of feel certain things. I would hear voices and think I was crazy if I was a paranoid schizophrenic. Not making light of that, but I'm just saying. And I would also be able to tell people certain things, and I didn't understand why I was telling them. For example, I was at church with my grandmother back in the day, like a long time ago. I had been like 6. And I was like, the Reverend's a whore. And she was like, what? And then I started telling off her and I started whispering. She said, shut up, shut up, shut up. And she grabbed me by my ears and was just like, chill out, chill out, chill out. And I just kept talking and talking. I was like, no, you want me to be honest? And I just kept talking and I just always felt something. And then I had an aunt who was they call her a witch doctor. She was straight up in New Orleans bayous in that dealing with that. You understand what I'm saying? People used to come to her if they wanted something, you wanted something done, and you know what I'm talking about. She would be the person to go to, and she was in the outskirts in the swamp area, and she really didn't associate with a lot of people, but I would spend a lot of time with her. And her energy was just very powerful. And she always told me I had this eye. So I have many different things. Sometimes I'll use the little tarot cards, but do I need them? No. Sometimes I could I'm able to tell you whatever. And then I have my own little cards that I created. My grandson drawing them, and I just touch them, and I could just tell you some things. I'm not good with names in the physical world, so I'm not good with names in the spiritual world, because spiritual and physical do have a connection. I have dreams, Today I had a dream about a snake. I'm like, okay, I must have somebody that's getting ready to backstab me, you know. So I do the dreams, the tarots, energy readings. I really would call them energy readings. I would really call it energy. I do it professionally. I do it 24 hours a day. I can wake up, do it. I can do it when I'm upset. I can do it when I'm hurting. I can do it when I'm in pain. I can do it when I'm happy, when I'm sad. Whatever's going on in my life, I'm able to read people. I'm able to tell you certain things for whatever reason. I've helped people to solve mysteries. I've helped people to find their loved ones. I've told people about like someone's getting ready to pass. I saw my own mother. My mother told me, hey, you know, I'm going to die, so you might as well just deal with it. So everybody was crying, and I was just kind of looking at them like, okay, we already knew. Why y'all tripping? So I just had that gift, and I really see it along in my older grandchildren. I mean, my older children, because my children are grown, they 20 in their 20s, and I have grandchildren as well. So it's certain things that I can tell, I can see. And I hear noises, and it's just like loud. Sometimes it's a ringing, sometimes it's my own voice, sometimes it's somebody else. Sometimes I can wake up from a dream. Sometimes I'll see it before it happens. So I have many different things that I go through, depending on what's going on that day. I might wake up and feel something's about to happen. Sometimes it's something to tell me, hey, move, go left. And I'll be like, what? Go left. I'm like, why? And then I just go left, and then it'll be like somebody gets shot on the right hand side. That's happened before, like no lie. Like they were shooting. I was at this basketball game, and I was told to go left. And this was when I was in high school. And I was like, what? And I went left, and then someone said duck down, and I ducked down under the car, and I almost got hit. You know what I mean? So it's just been certain things that I've felt, I can feel, I hear, whatever. I don't know. It's just so much going on. I have a lot of different gifts, so just take my word for
it. Now, you know what's so interesting is when I put this show out there, the responses I got from a lot of people, people went to the demonic. Oh, you're doing demonic stuff on your show, which is funny to me. Is like, do I seem like a devil worshiper? Like, you know, like really, you know. And it's funny to me that that people think of this as some sort of demonic spirit possession type thing.
But here's the thing: that a lot of my clients are Christians.
Right.
But they come to me in secrecy. They come to me in secrecy because they don't want to know. It's just the same thing. So how I spell it is basically, look, I don't have to use the cards. If the cards offend you, I don't have to use them. I can tell you some things without the cards. It's just I'm just gonna be honest with you, with cards, whatever cards it is, I'm just lazy and I don't feel like going through it. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? But the thing is, a lot of times people will feel a certain way. So it's a way, because people in church, you know, you always had that elder back in slavery, back in so many different times since throughout history. We've been doing reading. There's always been a diviner. There's always been someone that's been in the village or been somewhere that was in tune, that understood the word. It's just like when they created the Bible. When they created the Quran. Okay, so how did they know that? Because someone came to them and said, hey, blah, 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 and they wrote. You understand what I mean? So it's the same thing. So what's the difference between, so they're better than me because I know something differently, or that person's better. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. And it's always been an elder in the church. When I was going to church, it was always an elder, like a 90-something-year-old woman that'll be back in the back, and she'll be telling you what it is, and she'll be like, don't you do that. Don't you do that. And then you'd be like, what? They'll be like, don't you do that. You know what I'm talking about. You better not do no fast stuff. And they'll be telling you stuff. So is it, and then it's like, even on the terms of ministry, like, okay, so because you're not a Christian, or because you're not a Muslim, or because you're not this person, or you're not that person, you don't have a right to teach the word of the Creator or God or whatever you want to call the deity. You know what I mean? The ascending master. You have no right to do that. It's only select a few. So how do you know that they were selected? So I can get into a whole nother can of worms, which I'm not gonna do that on this show. But I'm just saying, so you know, you have to take people for what they are. So if a person tells you something, even with children are naturally gifted. Children, when they come out the womb, they naturally know, like, They are in tune with you. They're hearing your voices. They're knowing different things. And you're birthing these babies and these children. And for some reason, they lose it. You know what I mean? They lose it because you're telling them, you some of you parents, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're telling the child, you crazy, you need help. I'm going to give you this medication, and they dope you up. And I'm an herbalist, by the way. And they'll dope you up and put you on all these medications, make you think you're crazy. Because I'm telling you, when I was coming up, my parents wasn't really like that because my mother had gifts herself. So it wasn't a thing where I wasn't ostracized. They would just tell me to be quiet, don't say it so loud, or pull me aside and tell me later. And then my mother be like, what you hear? You know what I mean? And so it's certain things that we shouldn't do with children. And then the child will lose it because they're being told they're crazy, they're paranoid, they put them on meds and all this other kind of stuff. And so we have to stop doing so much judgment, because it's some people, you don't have to be a devil worshiper to tap in. I mean, you don't have to be evil. You can be a Christian, you can be Muslim, you can be whatever religion or spirituality, whatever it is that you do, and just have a science. You just know something. You just know something more than the average bear. You know what I mean? You just intuitive. We all have that gift. We all have that third eye ability. We all have that connection to the ancestors, because we all have ancestors. We all have ancestors, whether you know them or not, whether they have their your bloodline, or whether they are ancestors because maybe a family took you in. You understand what I'm saying? So we all have a connection to our ancestors, and it's just really all about us connecting to our bloodline, connecting to our higher self, the crown chakra, connecting to our third eye. That's what's important, and you can't deny that. So you're gonna go, well, I'm just gonna go because the minister told me don't do that, and all of a sudden you dead. You know what I'm saying? When you should just listen to yourself. You know, too late. You know.
Right. Let me ask this question. I want to ask a two-part question to Dainie. One is dispel the myth that your abilities come from some sort of demonic place, and then also I want you to add, why do you think that people automatically assume that's where it comes from?
Well, I think it is a fear of the unknown. And I think a lot of it has to do with the intentions of the person who is doing the readings. So if you're going into it with negative intentions, or you have some type of block of your own, it's the reliance on another person rather than a deity of some kind, I think, is where people get hung up on. So there's this fear of the unknown because you're turning to just a person for guidance, whereas, you know, we're taught to go to a higher being. I think the way that I sort of look at it, like I get some people that are pretty skeptical who come to me for reading sometimes. And I think curiosity can break down a lot of barriers around people thinking that it's something demonic or evil or misguiding or whatever. But overall, I think it really comes down to intention, though. That's sort of the guiding force of all of it. If you have good intentions and your intention is to bring forth positive messages, helpful messages, things that are going to improve that person's life or improve the life of people around them, whether they choose to use your guidance or not, you don't have any control over that. All you can do is impart whatever you're seeing as an intuitive person, and then they still have that free will to choose to do whatever they want. So
okay, so let me ask you this. We've all had, I believe most of us have had experiences in our lives where we felt some sort of, I don't know what you would even call it, deja vu, or some sort of premonition on something like that. Do you think that all of us to some degree have some kind of connection with this? Because, I mean, how many times have we walked into a place and we felt like we've been there before, or we've had that thing that don't go into that building because something crazy is going to happen. Then we found out something did crazy. What do you think about that? in either one of you?
Of course, we all. That's what I was saying earlier. We all have a certain possibility. It's just some more than others, right? So some of us, all of us, have a feeling. We'll go into a spot and be like, "Oh my God, this feels familiar." You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it could be a premonition of something yet to come, or it could be from your past lives. But see, I can go deep. But so it could just depends on you as an energy, because energy, and the thing is, regardless of whatever your beliefs are, energy is constant. Energy never dies. So even if this physical vessel that I'm clonking around with leaves this earth, at the end of the day, my energy will still be here. I have children, I have grandchildren, I have a man who better not try to get nobody else. I'm gonna get him. But anyway, you know, on a constant level, energy is constant. There's nothing you can do with energy. Energy will never die. Think about, for example, people like Tupac. His energy, his music is still here. His energy is still here. You still see another form of Tupac. We're gonna always see different forms of Tupac and different, you know, people like that, or just people in general. People will live through your family. You can allude, exude certain energies from your ancestors. Certain things that my mother does, I'm finding myself doing. I'm like, whoa, like my daughter walks around with this thing around her neck like my mother used to do. You know what I mean? So because her energy is constant, and that's not even my birth mother. I'm adopted. You know what I mean? And her energy is impelled in me. I hear her every day. Every day she said, "Get up, you little lazy lima bean. You're gonna waste your day away." And I hear her physically talking, and then certain times she'll give me messages, you know, to give my father. So we all have that possibility, but it's just some more than others, or highly attained and tapped in. And it just so happened that myself, and I know some other people that are highly tapped in, to the point that the creator was like, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you're, and I've gone to other, they call themselves, this is what they call themselves, and that's fine. I don't trip. I'm just telling you, I don't like the term for myself. But I've gone to psychics before, because I've ran from this my whole entire life. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, because of the negative energy and the feedback that you receive.
Same.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you get so many people that would make you feel a certain type of way because
Yeah.
because they don't understand. And because it's
Absolutely.
just hateful and evil. Let's just keep it real. We gotta stop hugging the trees in here. I'm not hugging the tree. I want to hug the tree and set fire to it. Because at the end of the day, people are jealous. People are jealous too, because they don't like, well, why you get to know this and I don't get to know? Well, because I was blessed to know this. You have, everybody has a gift, whether it's singing, that's a form of healing. Whether Kente, brother, you talk, you like, yes, 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 this is what I do. And you have a great voice and great spirit about you, and you make and command people to listen. Same with you, sister. You're a writer, you speak, you make people feel good about themselves, and you have a great spirit of energy about you. So that is your gift. We all have gifts, and we have to stop playing this game and acting like, you know what I'm saying, that your gift is better than my gift, or you know what I mean? And the thing is, we all have a possibility to do things, to manifest things, to make things happen. And the creator just at different times, or the ancestors, whatever you want to call it, or ascended masters, have a different time in giving you this particular gift. And it may be temporary. Some people's are temporary. Some people you will get a temporary lasting in connecting to someone. You may need to talk to someone. You may have a message. Your mother, if your mother passed away, your mother came to you, might say, hey, go tell your daddy, whatever, whatever. And then you go and do that. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's gone, right?
Mhm.
Because that was what you needed to do for that moment, in that moment. And so, yes, to answer, yes. Yes, we all have that possibility. We all have that connection, because we have this. As long as we got this right here, this third eye, this thing right here, this thing right here, and then we got this right here, the crown chakra, and everybody has it. But it's just some more than others. That's all.
Mm.
This the other part of that too, like as far as like the energy centers in the body, like you're talking about crown chakra, the third eye. A lot of people operate from different energy centers at different times too, right? So um, people who are more intuitive will operate more in their upper chakras, whereas people who are more grounded and more logical, I guess, logically minded, will operate from the lower chakras. So as far as energy work goes, it just kind of depends on your personality, where you're at. Like some people are able to tap into those higher realms easier than others, and other people stay lower. I know for me, I kind of like go up and down all the time. Like there's times where I can't really do readings because I'm like operating from a lower vibe, right? And then there's other times where I'm very intuitive and feel like I'm going nuts and I need to get some stuff out because I'm very up on the higher vibe. So that it depends on that too.
Do you guys like people who don't know what you do? Are you kind of hesitant sometimes to say that part of what you do because of maybe backlash, or I mean, you'll get either they have a negative view maybe, or they really want to know, they'll talk you up, right? So I'm just interested, do you guys sometimes don't mention that side of yourself?
Only time I don't is because I'm trying to gain information. When I'm trying, for example, let's say that I am trying to buy a house. So, of course, if I'm trying to buy a house, I'm not going to necessarily mention that. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to do a business deal, I'm not necessarily going to mention that if it doesn't have anything to do with the business that I'm running. You dig? So, in a lot of cases, but for the most part, I just live out loud. I'm like, but I don't necessarily, it's more, let me tell you something. Let me just break it down better. The thing is, it's harder for me to have friends. See, it's not hard for me to explain who I am and tell you who it is because I'll be seeing the bullshit. I'll be like, you full of shit. And once I know you full of shit, we can't have a friendship. That's relationship, that's friendship, that's everything. So that's what makes it harder. That's what makes it hard for me is developing friendships. And then the friends that, well, I don't want to say friend, but the associates that I do have, they feel like I'm reading them. And I'm like, I'm not reading you right now because I don't give a damn about what you thinking right now. I'm focused on talking to you, and we vibing, we out, we having fun. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm not reading you. I know you full of shit. So I mean, what's the problem? You know what I mean? I'm not getting ready to go there with you. So let's just, chill. So that's most part because I've had people tell me like, well, Mira, are you reading me right now? I'm like, no, because I don't give a shit. I'm like, why am I going to be reading you? What are you hiding? Are you hiding something? Now you make me want to read. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I think it's harder for that, but it's not hard to really live out loud. It's not hard for me to go, hey, I'm a mirror. I can read your ass. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? So I don't I don't trip over like that. I live out loud. I go into church. I will go, in the church with the minister preaching and say whatever it is I have to say. And I just keep it moving. And I don't give a shit what they think because they're going to always have their opinions concerning the same people that had their opinions about Dr. Mira. They'll be the same people. They'll be like, oh, can I get an hour reading for $40? Can you tell me what's going on with my husband? You know what I mean? So why would I, you know what I mean? So why am I gonna trip about like that? They can think whatever they want to. I just don't. The only thing is like I said, in having friendships, and I really don't, and I don't even really believe in that concept for real. But that's another story. But the friend that I do have is dead. Okay, and I saw his death, but that's a whole nother thing. And listen to me, but what happens is supposed to happen. So I accept. We have to accept things, right? But I think that's more the issue for me is like having real sound relationships. Because I have to, because one minute I'll be like, oh, I really like this person. This person's really on vibe and I'm really feeling him. I'm really feeling her. Friendship, not sexual stuff, because I got a man, I'm married. But but for the most part, in trying to get to know people, I think in trying to establish friendships, that's the hardest thing for me out of this. It's not hard for me to tap it. It's just it's natural. Like I wake up and knowing some stuff. You know what I mean? But excuse me, I think the hardest part is like having friendships. The hardest part in trying to get to know people without them trying to be sneaky, or without them feeling like I'm trying to be sneaky. You know what I mean? They're feeling like I'm trying to read them, and it's not even that case. I'm just chilling with you. We just getting to know each other. We're having fun. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's do something great with each other. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like, that's one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of healers as friends, a lot of people that read other people, because it's just, I just want to have normalcy. I want to have some kind of normalcy. And then every time I get around people, they be like, "Oh, I'm a psychic now." I be like, "You were a psychic when I met you 3 days ago. Now you're a psychic?" I mean, I'm touching, and I feel like you're upset about something. No, I'm not. What are you talking about? Or you frowned up. I'm always frowning. What's your point? I'm not frowning because I'm upset. That's just my natural look. I got that. That my bloodline is like that. Don't trip. So that's what I'm saying. It's more or less that issue. But I'm sorry, I digress.
Before Dainie goes, I want to quickly say hello to everybody that's listening live in the YouTube chat, especially. If you are on the YouTube channel, I see there's a bunch of people that are on, but they're not in the chat room. Just on the right side in the top chat section where it says something new, let your voices be known, and we will recognize you. I see Cepeda in the chat room. I see the Piscean as well. I see there's many more, but they're not saying anything. Don't be shy. Real quick, I see a question from Cepeda. We'll ask this to Dainie. It says, can someone block a psychic from reading them? Which is an interesting question.
In my experience, like, I won't try to read people who don't want to be read. I know, like, Kinte and I have had this conversation before. Like, if somebody is clear with me about, like, I don't want any readings, I don't want you to, like, look into anything about me, I won't do it, because I feel like that's a violation to somebody, it's disrespectful. So, but if you're just, like, out in the world and you don't want that done to you, then just don't ask for it, like, that's really all it comes down to. Can you block it? Maybe you can, like, if there's a way to do it, like, if you're in the presence of someone who's gifted in some way, is there a way to block it? Possibly. I'm not familiar with any. Maybe Amira knows a way. But I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But I know I won't do a reading on someone who's asked me not to. Never.
So you basically got to hope that the psychic actually has a moral compass.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They don't.
So okay. So if let me ask this question. This might seem kind of silly though, but if I bring either Dainie or Amira to, like, some kind of business negotiation, does that up my chances of being more successful if I have me one of y'all at the?
I think so. Don't you, Dainie?
Well, you definitely get a better take on somebody's character, but Kinte, you have an excellent judge of character anyway, so I don't think you would need either of us, because you are an excellent judge of character.
I need every extra little bit. So if I'm going to buy a new car, I'm taking one of y'all. If I'm
I'll go with you.
There we go. I'm gonna make sure I have.
Can I get a car too?
I'm saying, can I go?
Sell it, Dainie. Sell it.
Man, I'm Oprah. Everybody.
I was like, yeah, a male version.
He's buying us all cars.
So we at this point of the show, we're gonna have some people pop in as well. But go ahead.
One question. I'm sorry to answer that person's question. Yes, you can block them. You can block people. It's a way to shield people, because when people try to read me, if I don't want them to read me, I shut it down. But I have taught people how to shield people from reading me.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to learn how to do that too.
Me too.
Do you have to wear some sort of tinfoil?
Alumna hat, alumna can hat.
Garlic.
Wait for
vampires.
Just don't brush your teeth. That's all.
Right. They won't come near you.
Don't wear deodorant.
There you go. There's the
Just to wait
answer.
for somebody, one of our people to pop back in. Um, does it help you guys personally as far as, I mean, we talked about the business negotiations, but so like if you are it doesn't even have to be romantic. It could, like, if you are thinking about what job to take, or some sort of fork in the road in life, do you guys call upon that? Does it help yourself as well in that
Mm.
way?
I mainly do readings for myself, to be honest. Like, that's where my primary practice is. Like, I do have one reader that I follow regularly. But just for like day-to-day stuff, if I need some guidance, it's almost like a meditation for me. Like, I'll use my cards. Sometimes it'll just be just straight up meditation. I have different ways to sort of tap in. Like, I really feel like the communication with whatever you believe to be your higher being is a two-way street. So you can pray, which is outward communication, and you can meditate and get the messages inward as well. So
Grayson, you have a want to mute
Yes.
when you want talking. Okay, sorry. We'll wait till. Okay, sorry about that. Were you finished?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we are fortunate that we have some people that are willing to do their readings. And first of all, before we say hi to Grayson and start with her, kind of give us an idea of what happens, because I want people to understand that it's not hocus pocus, or it's not theatrics and smoke, and ravens flying around. Kind of set the tone of what happens before we start with Grace, and kind of set the tone of what you're looking for when you and how set the mood of how it goes down.
Like, how your question is, like, basically how do we do it, or
like before we start, we're gonna start with Grace, and then but like, okay, somebody comes to see you, you know obviously they're looking for something in their life and stuff. Like, what is the mood like? Because this
I understand your question, Kitty. I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
So I mean, yes, like set the because this is not the normal way you do it, but normally when you see people, like, kind of, how does that process begin?
I know for me, what I will do is I just ask the person if they have anything specific that they want a reading on. And if they don't, then I can also do just general readings too. So, yeah. So, and I just, most of the time I'll use my cards or crystals. I also do numerology, which is another divination tool. So, yeah. So in this case today, I'm going to be using cards for the live readings. I'll probably pull like a few cards depending on what the question is. So, yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be quiet, and me and Shannon's going to be quiet, and we're going to, so Grayson is first, and then we'll talk to Imani. So Grayson.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. So I'll turn it over to our two ladies. So whichever lady wants to go.
Okay.
All right. You want to go, Dainie? We'll start with Dainie.
Sure. So, Grayson, did you have any particular question you had today, or did you just want sort of a general reading? Do you have an idea?
I'm at crossroads right now that happened in just a very recent thing, and I want to know if it's going to wind up putting me in the right path, because all the signs have been showing the right path, but I want to know if the right path is actually hitting, so that it finally comes to the goal that it's supposed to be after a parting of ways with people.
Okay. All right. I'm just
I
going
a huge
to go
purge,
ahead.
both physically, like a business purge, as well as also a like room purge, and I've been purging things out. So it's like, does that?
Okay, I'm going to pull two cards for you. Okay, so I've pulled two cards here. So I have the first card that I pulled is the Sun. It's reversed. And I also have the Messenger of Water. And it's also reversed. So what I get from here right off the bat is that these changes that are happening for you are potentially very life-changing. They're going to bring a lot of positive change, especially around your physical health, I think. It could be stress. It could be just your physical body as well, like any sort of ailments that you're dealing with. It could be related to these changes that are happening for you. The only thing is, like, you might have some difficulty overcoming some sort of bad habits or some repeating behaviors. So just be careful of that to sort of try to move past any fear that you have around changing your behavior. The other thing I'm getting with the Messenger of Water, there's a big emotional component here. So say what you need to say to people to get past this. That's how you're going to get closure with things. Don't hold back, but don't be too overly emotional either. Get right to the point with people on things.
Yeah,
but through this time when things are changing, though, take really good care of your physical health. That's going to be really important because they are quite significant changes, and just the stress of that alone could be difficult for you. So that's kind of like, that's just like messages on how to sort of navigate the changes that you're going through. As far as like where it's leading you, I'm going to pull one more card because I'm not quite getting anything clear on that. So I got 2 of Water, and again, it's reversed. So a lot of reversals here. So I think it's really important to pay attention to how you're feeling through all of this, and don't be afraid to just, work through all the emotional stuff. It's going to be important. Sorry, my dog is whining in the background.
That's okay.
So 2 of Water. Yeah, it's kind of a sad parting of ways, It's a little. I think there's some sadness for you, but that's okay. Let yourself feel it. Just walk through it, and don't be afraid to move forward. Because I think overall, this is what's best for you. I think there's just been a lot of stuff really blocking you, and it really is time to move on. So you're on the right path, which answers your question there. You're on the right path, but just be careful to sort of manage your emotions, manage your health through all of it, and you really can't go wrong. So
very cool. Also, like I said, that it feels like when I'm on this path, it's like the more that I'm going in that direction, it's leading in the right way, but yet at the same time, it's kind of the shadow in the background.
Yeah, I guess it's the hesitation, it's the fear of change. That's kind of where it's coming from. That's what I'm getting. And the fear of not knowing what comes next. So really work through that stuff. Like, feel all those feelings. Don't block it. Let yourself go through all the emotions that come up as things are transpiring. Because if you don't allow yourself to feel that stuff, if you don't get the closure you need, you're not going to be able to get into the next chapter of what's beyond this, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Okay,
I know
good.
that it actually started this purge of things. It was a matter of, I've also now purged 7 pounds that went with that.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah, which was kind of an excitingly happy moment.
Excellent.
So maybe it needed to stop in order to be able to go forward. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered also certain things within that path that could have led me down a really dark, wrong corner and could have put a lot of things in jeopardy.
Yeah. I'm just seeing it, like, with that sun, like the sun, it's one of the major arcana in the tarot. So that's sort of like your overall guidance is to focus on physical health, vitality, getting more active, eating well, you know, all that stuff. Like, you know, it's like typical stuff that a doctor would tell you, but it is what is going to carry you through all of this. It really is.
So the purge is actually a healthy thing.
Absolutely. It is. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be careful though. Like, it's because of all the reversals in this, like, I'm just thinking, like, particularly with the emotional stuff, it's really important to work through those things and don't overdo it, you know? Moderation.
Take the time to actually reflect it.
Yeah. Yeah. Reflection and go slowly. Like, there's no rush, you know? There's no rush.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what I get for you. I hope that helps.
It does.
Great.
And I'm guessing that it's going to, if I'm on the right path, that means it's going to lead to the right goal.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I mean, you're on the right path. You're definitely on the right path. It's just, you know, the only cautions are work through your emotions, go slowly, make sure your physical health is on point and you're addressing any issues that you have, and things are going to go well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And everybody, I want to, I don't know if we said this, but I guess it's been about a week or two was Grayson's wedding anniversary. She was actually, her and her husband got married on October 31st.
Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, Grayson.
Never forget his anniversary, her husband. So congratulations to you on that. And thank you so much, Grayson.
Thank you.
All right. So what we'll do now is we'll shift to Amira, and then we have Imani. So Imani, are you there?
Let me look at Imani. I gotta look at her. Where's she at? Oh, is she in the chat?
No, she's here. She's in the. She has her camera off though.
Okay, that's okay. I just want to look at the camera. Where the camera at?
I have it up here as a.
Okay, and I'm just joking. Just joking.
All right.
Okay. So normally, what I would do, some people ask me questions, or I would just be like, "Look, I'm just gonna tell you what I see." That's what I do. You know. There you go. I see you. Okay. All right, Imani. And so usually when I'm using the cards and I'm kind of in one of those energy modes, and my cards don't really mean what you think they mean. They really, if I showed them to you, I would be embarrassed, but I'm not. So what I usually do is I'll touch on them, and just give me a second here. Okay. So what I do see here, I see a trio of three that is surrounding you. This can be physically, this can be spiritually, but I do know there's a trail of three. If they're not there yet, I definitely know that it's a spiritual energy that tells me. So maybe people who have passed on in your bloodline, maybe two of them and I'm sorry, two of them and one of them you have not met, but they know you because you're in the bloodline, right? And also I feel like it's three people on the physical as well, females that are going to start coming to you. So it don't necessarily have to be in coincide. It could be like a manager. Just an example, just giving an example. It could be a manager that maybe that maybe see something within you. I'm not saying that this is possible, but I'm just giving you some scenarios, right? So maybe a manager that you are connected with, or it could be a friend and it could be a relative. But it definitely feels like maybe it's somebody that you kind of work with, what have you, but that has a kindred spirit toward you that wants to see you do great. So I do see a community sense, a community energy around you that is uplifting you. So like the whole village theory, right? So I do feel like that is happening. And that's because I do also know there's going to be a type of a maybe a possible contract that you're going to have to sign, either a binding emotional contract. That contract could be a marriage. That contract can also be in relations to maybe some documents. You could be buying a home. It's something that you're going to end up doing and signing some type of a contract. So it could be a spiritual contract, or it could be an actual physical contract. So what I would recommend that you make sure that you read the contract carefully before you sign anything. And that's not saying it's bad or good. It's not a bad or good thing. It's just you need to know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So you're going to have to get all the information out there as possible. I don't feel like you have all the information. I think I'm going to need you to do a little bit more research before you sign this contract. But if you are satisfied with what you found, then go right ahead and sign it. But just be careful in signing contracts between what's today. This is November. Between November, a 6-month period. So I feel like a 6-month period, you got to be very careful and strategic about signing certain types of contracts and getting into situations. So that could be a relationship contract as well, because those are contracts, okay? And that can also be a friendship. Those are contracts. And dealing with anybody, a job, a new job, that is a contract, because they're sending you a contract about something. And I do also know that there's something going on with you spiritually in the terms of connecting with shit. I'm dropping shit. Anyway, and connecting with your energy on a spiritual level. So I feel like you're having to protect your temple a little bit more so than forever, because I feel like that within your temple, there is something going on with that spiritually. So you have to be careful about who you are connecting with. That be via sexually, that be of psychologically, mentally, all that things, because I feel like that someone could possibly, and we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, that people can somehow psychically attack you because you are empath. And by you being an empath, if someone's hurting or someone's going through certain things in their lives, then you can kind of feel that you're like, God, oh my God, every time this person come around, you ever feel like when Janet comes around, you're like, shit. Damn, you can feel it in your heart. You're like, oh my God, my chest hurt, my ear hurt, my shit hurt, because Janet is toxic. Janet is always going through some shit with her man. And every time she come around you, you can feel that energy. You feel that flush. And you always feel angry when she leaves, or sad, or you feel whatever the hell emotion that this person feels. That's because you're an empath, okay? And so you have to be careful. You got to learn how to ground yourself. You got to probably get you some crystals, child. Wear you some crystals, get you a black tourmaline, or one of them onyx crystal, or something like that. Or even a tiger's eye would be pretty good. That's good for grounding. And so in wearing that, when you get into that energy and you dealing with those type of people, because you come into contact with people every day, that can really, really affect you. And so now it's at the level where you're going to have to be brave. I feel like you're getting ready to go through a transformation in your life, so you're going to have to be mindful about this transformation, and you're going to have to really show courage, because the moment that somebody smells that you weak, or you weak in any area, you know the theory of never letting a person see you sweat, you're gonna have to be like, you know what I mean? You got to walk in there, even if your armpits is sweaty and you may be getting a little musk because you're so excited or you're nervous and that kind of thing. You just hold them armpits together and you just walk in there as if your armpits ain't sweaty, and you just go. You just walk in there and just know what exists. Just be confident about your shit, and just know that nobody can tell you nothing, and just have that energy and be confident. Even if you're not, you got to fake it till you make it. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing. So be careful about them contracts. Just read everything, get every information that you could possibly get. I don't care what kind of contract it is. I told you every damn thing in your life is a contract. Okay. But okay, I digress.
Mm-hmm. So, Imani?
Yes.
So, did you hear what you said? Imani?
Yes.
Oh
Can
no.
you hear me?
Yeah. So did you hear what she said?
Yes.
Okay. So did any of that ring true for you?
The empath and that as an empath, I would need to definitely protect my energy at all times.
Yes.
I know it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree because you, from what I know of you, you seem very empathic. So hopefully that was some help for you. And thank you so much for participating.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
No, thank you. Thanks for letting me read you.
All
All
right.
right.
So we'll just go a little bit back and forth. So thank you, Imani. Olaf, are you there?
No, I am not here.
All right. So Dainie, Olaf, he's all yours.
Hello.
It's like you. Hi there. I don't know if you can see me or not. Hi.
I see your little picture. So, did you
See my
have
little
a?
picture?
I do. I do. Do you have a question you wanted answered today, or did you just want a general reading?
Let's just see what you find. It's like see what you feel with me. It's like I have a fairly strong presence. So let's just see what you come up with. I guess you're
See
probably feeling that, aren't you?
see what comes up. See what comes up. Well, we've met before. I think we've been on a show or two before together, haven't we? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's like it's like I love getting read. So it doesn't. It's like read me, tell me.
Tell you all the things. Okay. I'm gonna pull a few. I pulled a few cards here for you.
Okay.
But before I even look at the cards, I'm gonna say that I think, I don't know, for some reason I'm getting this message like you need to get out more, like out of your shell. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I'm gonna look at the cards here and see
Okay.
what's coming through. Okay, so wow, two major arcana, like right out of the gate. So we have the Chariot. What I'm getting from this is you probably have something pretty exciting happening in your life very soon. An achievement, like maybe fairly recently, something that you achieved. It could have been around education. It could have been business wise. And just sort of like allowing yourself to celebrate that achievement. Could have been like even like retirement from something or like an ending of something. I'm not quite getting clear on what it was, but something worth celebrating anyway. I'm also, the other card that I pulled was the Ace of Wands. This card is very much about innovation, new ideas, and then putting things into practice. So the next card is the stars. It has a lot to do with sort of getting to your true essence and really doing what you love. And then to pull that all together, I think you have to really start to take action with this stuff as far as the ideas that you have. There's something. Sorry, I'm trying to like. I'm going to take a quiet moment like Mara did because there's a lot of stuff coming through all at once. Hold on, just one moment. Okay. So there's like this idea that you've had for a long time. And it's started to gel, but there's pieces of it that you haven't quite been able to put together. And the reason why is because you're not putting yourself out there enough. And that's really what needs to happen in order for you to really move forward with things. The other thing I'm getting is that this isn't the end. Like there is more to come. And to just like reach for what you want. It's never too late to do that. And that's sort of that's kind of the main things that are coming through. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but
Yeah, it's some of it. Yeah, it does. It's like I'm curious to what idea it is that I've had for. I've had so many ideas. It's like going, okay, one of them actually is a good one. Okay, which one is it? Oh my god.
which one? Yeah, I think it's a really good time for you to sort of sort through some of those ideas that you have and pick one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think people who
Okay.
are innovators, because I'm definitely getting that you're an innovator, like big time. And people who are innovators, sometimes they'll have a lot of different ideas going on at once. And it's really difficult to sort of settle on one thing. And then your energy becomes very scattered. So it's important to choose something, particularly over like the next sort of few months. Choose one of those ideas and really start to cultivate it more. Like, and I get the feeling it's something that you've been working on for a long time. It's not necessarily something new. It's something that's been going on for a while and that you've maybe been neglecting a bit. It needs more attention from you. So it's not over yet. It's not done yet. That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
So
That is,
yeah,
that is
and
definitely interesting.
It's something creative. It's definitely something creative too, like writing or film or some type of creative something, art. I don't know what your skills are in the creative realm, but it's definitely something creative. So it's
Cool.
time to give it more attention. So
Cool.
You
Well,
know,
it's like
I know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the celebration part is like here literally in the last month, I sold my house and I have a new job.
hey,
So,
congratulations.
I'm really liking my new job. It's like it and the people that I'm working with, the group that I'm working with in this particular area. It's like I started. It's like we all gel together very well.
Excellent.
So. And it's like a little bit about me as far as background creativeness. It's like I'm a retired machinist, welder, fabricator. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Now, what was you gonna say, Kite?
I know that's true because there's many a times we've talked about creative outlets that you haven't gotten to yet. And so I'm like, wow, I'm glad that she said that because knowing you and knowing that, the many conversations we've had, there's a lot of things that, they're still on the table that they haven't done yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, that's like, it's like, well, I had to get a job because even though I've been retired for a couple of years, I have so many things going on. I can't get nothing done, so I had to get a job so I could get things done.
Gotcha.
So I had to get a job so it slowed me down long enough so I could do some other stuff.
It's ironic, but it's a means to what you want to get done. Like that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Now, it's like as far as anything else that you pick up on me? Just odd question. It's like one little extra question.
Sure.
Do you pick up anything from me that I have any kind of abilities? In other words, any psychic abilities at all? Do you pick up anything like that? Empathic or anything?
I would say definitely empathic. I think you, it's probably very easy for you to pick up on people's energy. I think it's probably also easy for people to take advantage of you because of that. I get that as well. I think that what I get is that you're very generous. You have a very good heart, and sometimes to a fault where it can actually get you hurt or like, used pretty badly. So, I think if you want to,
been there, done that.
Oh shit.
I got all the T-shirts, I got all the coffee mugs, and this like fanny packs. Yeah, I've got all that stuff.
It sucks. I think like if it's something that you ever want to cultivate, as far as channeling any of that, you can definitely start reading about it, and just learning how to, like we were talking earlier about protecting your energy, and I think that for you it's important because you do see into people, you see their essence. So,
well, I wear an earth magnet, so I have a very good, very good earth magnet that I wear.
That's helpful. That's definitely helpful. And, we were talking about crystals too. I didn't even think to mention that earlier, like black tourmaline, onyx, like Amira was saying, like those are excellent for protecting your energy. Absolutely. But I would say you definitely have very strong empathic skills. And I think possibly with dream work too. Like I think there could be dreams that you're having that could be a little bit foretelling.
I don't remember my dreams.
Okay. If you ever do wake up in the night, like if you have disturbed sleep at all, I would suggest to start writing down, like keep like a journal by your bedside and start writing down what you're thinking or feeling when you do have those sleep disturbances. So you may not get like actual visions from your dreams, but just the feelings and thoughts around that. Start there, because I think a lot of the time when people want to sort of start exploring those skills more, if you look into the dream stuff, it can it can really open things up. So give that a try.
Well, it's like I've had in the last couple months. I was at a convention in Lexington, which was a horror paranormal convention. I had a reading done, and different ones there kept telling me, it's like I had 2 or 3 different ones tell me that's like, wow, you have got a really great aura. And then I was in Atlanta, and there's this one girl looked at me. She says, "You have such a great calming aura." I'm like, really? She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay."
I believe it.
Oh,
what a great aura!
I don't know. It's like
whatever.
I don't know. Kente's put up with me for what, 7 years now, so I guess it's something to it.
Must be doing something right.
We're officially married, I guess. Right?
You're a keeper, Olaf.
Yeah, no, that's for once again, thank you so much, Olaf, for participating. And
no problem.
Your aura is pretty cool. I gotta say it, man. You pretty cool. Now,
alrighty. Hey, thanks for the reading, and it's like, and I am out.
You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me read.
Before we continue, there's a couple things I want to get to, and then we'll just keep it going. One is I see a bunch of people in the chat room. Not everybody is shown that they're in the chat room. I just see them as numbers. Please let yourself be known. I see Aaron has popped in. Of course, Lepiscian's here, and there's other people as well. And if you want a reading, let me know, and we'll make it happen. A real quick question. This is episode number 99, and we're going to be off for another 2 weeks, and then we're going to have episode 100. So we're going to have a big 100th episode following our 2-week hiatus due to Thanksgiving and some other stuff. So I just want people to know that this is episode number 99, and we appreciate all the support, and we're looking forward to celebrating that episode 100. Now, we had a question from the chat room. It was a great question, and then we'll continue on. And It was so great. I can't remember. Can someone? This comes from Cepeda. He wants to know: can someone be taught to be psychic?
They can, like, for example, I could show you how to tap into your higher self, your third eye, crown chakra, etc. However, it still has to be a gift. It has to be a natural gift, but at the same time, I can show you how to tap within yourself to learn yourself and for you to be able to read, cards and that kind of thing. But at the same time, on a certain level, it does kind of have to be natural. But I've taught people who didn't really have it like that. They were in tune, like the person, like an average so-called psychic or whatever. But I've showed people how to tap into themselves, to learn themselves more, to know when something's not right, to know when something's good, to that kind of thing. And I've taught people how to use cards and stuff. So yeah, yes and no.
And one question before we go to Josh. You have children and grandchildren. Do you see any of that ability in your children or grandchildren?
Did you see my eyes? Well, okay. I think all of my children have their own specialized gifts to a degree. I think my last y'all gonna laugh at this, but I don't care. I don't give a shit. But my youngest granddaughter, which is 3 or 4 days old, I have not seen her yet, but I've looked at her pictures and I feel something about her. I do. I ain't gonna lie. That other one, that second one, she's something else. But that youngest one, I could kind of see some things that she go, ew, she's something else. But that youngest one, I do feel. Well, then her name is Camira. Hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like she has something. But I think all of my children and my grandchildren have something to a degree. They have certain things at different times. My daughter can feel my energy. She knows when I'm, when I'm kind of, even when I'm smiling, she knows if I'm upset about something. She's an empath as well, and she has certain abilities. She's have empathic abilities. So when I keep trying to work on her with that, but them Pisces is something else. She'll be like crying about what you crying for, So yeah, I think that they have different abilities of that.
It's interesting because Dainie, you said that it's something that's been passed down through your generations of bloodline. You said specifically the women, right, in your family, more so than the men.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't have a lot of deep connections with the males in my family, so I can't really say one way or the other. But definitely on my mom's side, the women, absolutely, there's a lot of that. I don't know how far back it goes, but I imagine quite far. So, yeah.
All right. So let's introduce Josh, and Amira's going to talk to Josh. Josh, you there?
I'm here. Are you there?
Yes. I love your picture, by the way. Great.
Me too.
Picture. I forgot you wrestle as well.
Only in Japan.
Can we see your face real quick?
No.
At least change the picture to your actual face.
Gotta figure out how to do that, I guess.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to turn you over to Amira.
It's Joshua, is it?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second, okay? Be patient. I guess I'm supposed to ask if you want me to tell you anything, or you just want me to just tell you what I feel.
I wouldn't mind a progress report of sorts. Let me know if I'm on the right path.
That is a good question. Okay, give me a second here. Let me zone into the ancestors, whatever it is that I use. Let's see. A second here. Okay. Okay. So one of the things I can tell you is that you need to be patient with yourself because you're not very patient with yourself. Um, you have to be patient with yourself. In your patience, you will find a better effect within your spiritual journey that you're on. Okay, and then it's something going on with your heart chakra, and what I would say. I'm sorry, not your heart chakra, with your second chakra. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You with your heart chakra. Your it's something I keep saying heart chakra, so it probably is your heart chakra. So it's probably something going on with your heart chakra. It feels like, yeah, your heart chakra as well as with your second chakra. And the thing is about your second chakra is just being careful in making sure that you're taking the proper eating the proper foods, and just make sure you don't allow yourself to get too upset about things. When you find yourself getting upset, do the meditation, relax. Don't allow anybody to take you out your comfort zone, because I really do feel like that you do have a bigger heart than what you let on. And I think that sometimes that you are a really caring person deep down inside, deep down inside. And so because of that, you have to be careful with lending your heart out to different people, because sometimes people will bullshit you and ask you to do things that are not within your scope of you. Yeah, sure, you can do it, but it's not worth you doing because it's taken away from something else that you could be doing for yourself. Okay, so you have to be careful of that. And then on the times of, and this takes me to the intimacy of your life. This takes me to the intimacy, and just being careful in the intimacy department, and just making sure that you connect with your emotional self, and making sure that you are being able to receive intimacy and tap into that intimacy level. And that's when I talk to you about the second chakra. That's really about the intimacy. And the more and more you tapped into being patient, the more you tapped into your intimacy and understanding your intimacy emotional. It's not just sex, and not just about sex, but it's about connecting to yourself into a higher plane of intimacy and being able to relate. Because the more intimate, the more you understand your intimacy, the more you will be able to learn yourself. And I think what's really holding you back from doing the things that you really need to do is you. And that's because of utilizing that patience bar, and just being very well connected and understanding who you are. I'm not saying you don't know who you are, but I'm saying is that because you're growing, because you're going through a change, because you're having it. A lot of us are having these spiritual enlightenments and shit this year with 2018, and because we're having these intimate spiritual enlightenments, and we're becoming so closer to greatness that we're battling ourselves. We're not, it feels, and it may feel like a physical force, because sometimes whatever you think within your spiritual energy can develop something within your physical. Okay, and so you thinking as though you are, and so you are, and so that develops into another person, and it may come off as an adversary, but it's really you in battling. But I do on the term see a support system for you. I see some support headed your way. And this does feel like on the terms of financial as well. And I know they always talk about, you know how Michael Jackson talked about this man in the mirror. That is a song that you can certainly relate to, because you are the man in the mirror, and you have to honestly and to recite what he said to make that change. And you have to really understand your true self, your true power. You have to recognize where you are and where you're willing to develop things. I'm sorry, I'm writing this stuff down. You have to recognize where you are in developing yourself and touching and tapping into who you really are, and not only just who you are, but who do you want to be? Who do you want to be at this stage? What is it about you that makes you great? You know, and so you have to go back and revisit that, because you're on a potential of greatness. You are on some greatness, but in order for you to do that, you're going to have to do some adjustments within your life, and you're going to have to be able to do some clarifying about what approach you would like to take. So all these different courses have led you to where you are now, and because you are here now, you are going to have to start kind of chopping away at certain things from your past, and and possibly I do feel like you're going to end up revisiting certain parts of your past. And because of that, that's just anytime we go back to have to revisit certain aspects of our past, that's just letting us know that we're on the right pathway. And it's also a way to letting us know, secondly, so it's kind of like a dual situation. So it's like letting you know that you're on the right to your pathway, because it's a test and you're on the brink of success, right? And then the second thing, also the dual aspect of it, is letting you know that you're not all the way over it like you thought you was, you know? So the dual responsibility. So you have a dual responsibility. So you may have to kind of tap back in order to get over certain aspects that you really didn't realize that you were over. And it's probably because a lot of times when the holiday seasons come up, it feels like there's a certain change for you during the holiday timing. And because of all this holiday season that's starting to come up, and certain things that you didn't think about for years are now coming to you're now beginning to think about them. And so you have to start kind of clearing certain things out of your life. So for example, let's say that I'm a good example of that. I got so much shit in my room that I'm going to have to throw away my drawers in order to make room for new. You understand what I mean? So certain aspects of your life you're going to have to throw away to make room for the new, for the success. You got to throw away the failure. And yes, I know what y'all thinking. Failure is a purpose of success, because it just lets you know that you don't need to do that no more, but you can do another thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a dry run. So this didn't work, so I'm going to try something else, so that will work. And if I fail at that, at least I tried. It's still successful, right? But in your life, you have a thing where you are on the brink of doing something really great for you. Now, whether others, this person or that person or this other person, may not see that just yet, but you have to have more faith in yourself. And I don't think you're giving enough credit, and you got to get to the point where, these pats on the back ain't shit. They not really nothing, because at the end of the day, you have to establish where you want to be. And so you have to I would do a visionary. I wish I had my visionary board here, but I would do a visionary board, and to try to do like a self check, like, okay, so what do you really want? So I would put this picture, like, for example, if you want a car, I want this Maserati car right here. I want this new business, which I do see some ventures coming up for you as well. But it's going to take patience. So you're going to have to work through patience and recreating of self, recreating that intimacy for yourself, and getting to know you more on an intimacy level, and opening up your heart and closing it off for bullshit and not doing everything for people that's going to waste your time. Does that make sense?
I think so. Just get rid of everything toxic, refocus on what makes me me, and start putting in the effort to make my dreams happen.
In a nutshell, I said all that just to say all that, huh?
Well, I don't know about that because it kind of is almost like you're telling him, don't mess with Kente no more.
I didn't say that.
Throw the whole friendship away.
I know, right?
See, Kente's got to make a joke out of everything.
Right.
Everything toxic but Kente. He's it's okay. His toxicity, is that a word? is all right.
We all need a little poison in our lives.
You can have it. Look, you can have the poison. I will hand deliver him to you.
Oh man. I guess I deserve that a little bit. Oh man. So what do you think about that, Josh?
I think it's very sound, very good to hear, especially now that we are closing out 2018, and like a lot of us, I get reflective on how my year was and start making plans on how to make 2019 better. It also gives me pause to really start dissecting my relationships and the people I know, and whether or not they would be good for me going forward.
It's going to be a few that you're going to have to let go of. And it does feel like some that it feels like one is very challenging for you. So you have to examine, is it challenging good or is it challenging bad? You know what I mean? Because challenge is good if that person is pushing you to be a greater you, just in general, like overall, not just for them, but a greater you in general. Not, you know what I mean? Not just a selfless act, but to be good for you to be good overall, right? But if there's not motivation there for that, then that is something that has to be really thought about. So you got to figure out the challenge is this a challenge that's good for me or is this a challenge that's bad for me?
I get that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Joshua.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Let me read you, Josh.
Likewise. Have a great night.
You too.
Or is it still noon out there? I don't know. Time zones are hard.
It's night.
It's nighttime. Night.
All right. So before we get to our co-host, she's gonna do it as well. We have Aaron is popped in. Aaron, brother Aaron, you there?
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hi, Aaron.
So Dainie,
Hi, brother.
Dainie, Aaron, I don't know, you guys haven't met yet, but Dainie.
No. Hi, Aaron. I've heard you on the show a few times, but I don't think we've actually met.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
There you are.
So
I see I got a yes, I do. I want to read it.
Okay.
Want to try it out. Never had one, so I want to try it.
Even better. So did you have a specific question, or do you just want something general? What do you have in mind?
I don't know. I don't know how this works. Do I ask you a question and you read me like that?
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything in your life that's sort of like you're just sort of wondering what's going to happen, or you're looking for some guidance or some clarity on anything, or, for sometimes the first time reading, just a general reading is better because then just whatever comes up. So it's really up to you.
I'll take some clarity on something.
Okay. I'm going to actually use some oracle cards for you. I'm going to pull 2 cards. So So the first card I pulled is called the Human Gift. And the second one I pulled is Celestial Rose of Ma. So those probably don't mean a whole lot to you, but what I'm getting here is, just give me one moment. Okay. There is a maternal presence in your life that causes you a fair amount of worry and grief. And it kind of, there's a sadness there as well. I think that overall, what you need to do is really protect yourself. I'm getting that there's like some legal stuff potentially there. Yeah, and there's also some outside influences that are making things more difficult. So almost like people adding to conversations and sort of whispers in the background in certain circles that are causing drama, I guess you could say. So on one hand, this relationship is very significant and important. I'm getting that it's like a mother, definitely. It's either like a mother, your mother, or someone you care about very much, their mother. It could even be the mother of any of your children. It's just important to sort of like navigate those relationships carefully, protect your energy, and make sure that your communication with them isn't being clouded by any outside influences. Really get to the heart of the matter with people. And there's the other thing I'm getting to is that there's a really huge potential for healing in this relationship. And it really, essentially, it does need to happen, but it might be difficult to get there because of, again, those outside influences. So if you can clear that stuff away, it's going to make room for a lot of healing, and things could end up being really beautiful between the two of you. Because they need to be. You need to get to that place, regardless. The other thing that I'm getting, like, just success-wise for you, you are very gifted. You have very good vision, forward vision. So you know, people were asking earlier about their own abilities to sort of use psychic gifts. Now, I'm similar. I don't like to call it psychic because there's, you know, the stigma with it. But you have an ability to see forward. You're very, what's the word? You make an excellent sort of manager. Like, you're able to sort of see the full picture. Like, you see all the different aspects of something. You're very discerning, particularly with business stuff. So in using those skills, just make sure that you don't lose your connection with people. Don't try to avoid falling into workaholism. You're not necessarily going to harm.
You sure you never talked to me before? Because you're speaking to my soul right now.
Like, in particular, like, workaholism isn't going to hurt you, but it is going to hurt the people around you. So, like, really be careful of that. I think that, like, that is a lot of the time it's going to be the source of difficulties in your relationships, in your life overall. So just be really careful with that. Like, it's good to be driven, because you are definitely on an upward path. There's like, I see that clearly. You are like catapulting, but be very careful in your relationships, because you're going to need a strong base to do what you're going to do in your life. You're destined for greatness, 100%.
So can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
All right. So I always just base everything on me, right? Like screw it, I do it. I don't need nobody. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's not going to get you very far. That's something you need to kind of work on, I think. You're going to need people, particularly you're going to need women in your life. Like, you're going to need women close to you who are going to support you in this, because you're going places. So you have to learn how to connect. And yeah, man, I'm getting like really strong messages for you here. Like I'm having like a physical reaction on what's coming through here for you. Like you really have to learn how to connect. It's important.
Connect in what way?
Like on an emotional level.
I'm not emotional though. It's like don't mess with my emotion type of thing.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy for you. It's not going to be easy. But it's that feminine energy. You need it. You really need it. If you want to go where you want to go, you need to be able to let that in. There's just no two ways about it. You're going to get lost in your worry and your regret if you don't let that type of energy into your life. So it's important. If you like going where you're going, it's really important, or you're going to lose yourself. And you don't want that. You really don't want that.
All right. And the maternal thing, you speaking specifically like a mother?
Yeah. There's like, I'm getting like, there's at least 2 mother roles in your life that are causing you grief from different angles, and there's like other people involved in those dynamics that are making it worse. So it's really important to like clear the slate and just deal with them as directly as you can.
Okay. Do you see anything else there?
That's the main stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm always open to do like deeper readings. I think there's definitely more for you.
I know who you're talking about, but I just don't want to talk to that person.
Okay.
The conversations have to be no more than 7 minutes.
Whew. It could get ugly, huh?
It's water and oil. So the conversations, for the sake of everyone else, has to be 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay. Well, you do what you have to do to keep the peace, I guess, right? But yeah, something needs to give. I think there has to.
Is it me?
Partially, yeah. I mean, there's 2 sides, definitely.
Should I apologize?
All you can do is work on your side of things. So I think like if you take some time to like really assess your side of it and see if you can like get to the core of your accountability in it and then act accordingly, that could really create some healing. And it could help things a bit. But like it's going to require some patience and some opening up on your part, definitely. So
I'll take it.
I hope that helps. I hope.
I didn't know. I mean, I knew what you were talking about was a deal, but the fact that I don't know you from a can of paint and you said it, it's kind of like, I guess it is a bigger deal than what I thought or was willing to say. Well, I know the exact person you're talking about. This is like mind blown. This is crazy. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That was good.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for participating, Aaron.
Oh,
That's
anytime. And I'm definitely on your 100th episode, no matter what.
all right. That's right.
All right, yay.
And
We turn it up.
Amira, hey Amira, how you doing, Queen?
Hi, Aaron, brother Aaron, what's up? You know that would have been fair for me to read you because I already know.
All right. Okay. Last but definitely not least is Shannon, and Amira is going to. I'm gonna just hand it over to you, and go ahead. I'm gonna put myself on mute.
Stop looking like that. Wait a minute. Okay. Someone has a headache on here because they're giving me an extreme bad headache. Who has a headache? It could be somebody in the room.
I had one most of the day. That's funny.
Yeah, it's very intoxicating.
But don't Shannon look like she's ready to do some readings tonight?
Yeah, she do. She like calling me now. And I like, by the way, before I do this read, what's my girl name? Called me now. She actually was really good. You know what the problem was when they started trying to market her. That's when she was really good though.
Miss Cleo. Yeah.
Miss Cleo. She wasn't really fake. She had a fake Jamaican accent. Yes.
It was horrible.
She was like from Compton, I think, something like that.
You know what's funny though? Like with Miss Cleo, like I've some people channel, right? And when they channel, they'll speak with a different voice. So I wonder if that was what she was doing. I always wondered that.
She probably was. I felt like she had a lot of different gifts.
Yeah.
I really feel like she had a lot of different gifts. I don't believe.
I think she got a bad rap, honestly.
She did.
I really do.
Yeah. Because they market her, they made her corporate.
Right.
And her cards are really good. I like those cards. I like the energy off of them. Not necessarily what they say. I'm not talking about, I don't go off what the cards say. I go off the energy that I pick off the card.
And
I've
never seen them.
Yeah, those are really, I like the energy off of those.
Okay.
That'd be a good movie too, by the way. The Miss Cleo.
Yeah. You gonna make that movie, Kente?
I would play her Call Me Now.
Yeah, sign me up. I'm gonna do it.
I have a weird sense of humor. Don't pay no attention to me. Let me see. Let me get this going. Okay. Hi, Kente. I wish you meditate or something. Get rid of that headache. I'm about ready to get rid of it for you in a minute.
I'll get rid of it for him.
It's abuse.
Love taps. Love taps.
Give him love taps. Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. One more time, because I felt something going deep. Okay. I didn't mean to make that face. It's not like that. When I do, you can't pay. Well, first of all, your chakras is all jacked up. Okay, so let me tell you, the main chakras that are messed up on you is your first chakra, which is your foundation. Okay, the next chakra, which is your fourth chakra, which is right. Let me see. I'm doing something right now, women. Yeah. Okay. So you know how I got on here? I'm trying to get Kente together. You know how I got on here and I kept saying that I felt like something. Well, I didn't say it out loud. I'm tripping. I'm acting like I told you this shit. But nevertheless, I felt like something really heavy within my heart. And that lets me know that your heart chakra is off. And I felt something within my stomach region. So that lets me know that it's something going on there. So you definitely got to get that together. Okay. We'll talk about that. That's okay. So let's go. Let's go into the angry energy. Let's talk about that. Because I feel like it's getting ready to, if it hasn't already happened, because sometimes with me, sometimes I feel like it's happening, but it's about to happen. Sometimes it's already happened, and sometimes it feels like it's about to happen. So sometimes I can't tell the difference at different times. Sometimes I can. But right now, I know that if you have not experienced this yet, it's about to go down. I feel like there's going to be some energy, some angry energy. There's going to be somebody possibly argue. You're going to possibly argue with them. There's going to be some exchange of words, some angry stuff going on. Okay. So the way that you handle it is how you can get out of it. So if you go in there like, yeah, you know what I mean? That may not get you where you need to go. But if you go in there knowing and confident of who you are and going in knowing that you're right, okay, then you can be able to level that plane. Because I see a lot of chaos, chaotic energy, a lot of chaotic behavior, a lot of chaotic shit. And sometimes people be like, well, I didn't experience it. That didn't happen to me. A mirror, that didn't happen to me. I'm like, but are you angry about something? Do you have chaos going on? Yes. Well, that's probably what that is. But it's just a thing where sometimes it could be a battle within yourself, as I was telling that other caller. Okay. And I do see some signs of, again, I do see a circle around you of femininity, a femininity circle that wants to celebrate you and honor you. But you got to let go of past. You got to allow yourself to feel that energy. You got to let people, you got to treat people how they treat you, even if they have certain quirks of somebody else that you might have dealt with. You still got to let them deal. You know what I'm saying? You got to still know of them as an individual. Yes, I know we all have red flags. Yes, I know sometimes we receive red flags, and that's okay. Red flags, yes, can be concerning, but sometimes it can be in our own mind because we're struggling, because of this person may have some of the similarities. But understand that everybody in your life is going to have certain similarity because we are attracting different things to us, the law of attraction. So when I'm not saying completely healed, but when we're healed to a greater point of our life, then we're able to deal with it in a better way. Okay, so I do know that you have to do some healing. You got to do some healing, and that's okay. Just don't be hard on yourself. Like, oh my God, I gotta heal. No, just understand that I have to do some healing. We all have to do healing. We all do. It's not. You're no better than this person or that person. Some of us have a little bit more healings to do. Yes, you have come a long way. Let me acknowledge that. You have you come a long way, baby. You get a cookie, a cracker, a thumbs up, a gold star on your piece of paper, and it says A, okay? But you're not all the way there yet. And that's okay. But it's going to take time. So look, when you see certain red flags in different people, still look at them as an individual. Now, that's not saying to not have caution, because you're like, damn, that's kind of like what Jack used to do. You know what I mean? but just go, okay, that is a red flag. But Bobby so far has shown me some good things. I'm gonna write that as a middle note, a mental note, knowing, okay, he did kind of display of that. Was that a human nature thing? Maybe he didn't know that I didn't like that. But maybe if I tell him I didn't like that, he will respond differently and not do that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give people individual chances. Okay, so the next thing is strategizing. Okay, so now you're at a pinnacle mode in your life where everything has to be designed for a purpose, not doing shit for the hell of it anymore. You got to strategize like, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. But don't really focus on what you don't want, but focus on what you want. Because sometimes when we focus on what we don't want, sometimes we draw that attraction to us because we're still focusing on it, right? It's still an energy, it's still a creative energy, and it develops into a person. Then you look up and you got wham bullshit Nova in our face. So what you want to do is just focus on all the things that you really want. Like if you want mention a yacht. Remember Emma J. Foot? I want to mention a yacht and all these beautiful things. Then you need to focus on that. Then you got to focus on how you're going to get there. So you got to write out a plan of action. I want this. I'm going to get there by this. Okay. With that said, you cannot get married to that agenda. So if it does not happen the way that you expected it to happen, don't be frustrated. Don't be like, oh, drawing board, I'm so depressed. I got to go back and do this because it didn't happen. Sometimes when things don't happen, it's just the way that we went about getting them. And then part two, dual. There's a dual energy. Some things just wasn't meant for us to get. And it's something better. That's a new opportunity. A door is going to open up and you're going to open that door. You're like, damn, why would I want that anyway? And that's also dealing with different relationships. When we get into these relationships and we're not aware of what we're getting into. And so that particular energy, he needs some work too. He's hurting too. He has some pain there as well. I don't know who the hell I'm talking about, but that it's probably somebody that you know, but I feel like he has work to do as well. And so you have to utilize patience with that particular energy, because I really feel like this person feels like a good energy. But I think you have to be patient and you have to let him come into you have to let him come into as himself, and not just because he has certain similarities to other people that you've dealt with, that you got to still look at him as an individual, and you have to tell him, this is what I don't like. This is what I do like. Oh my God, this makes me happy. Because you can't just be negative, like, oh, that shit, I don't like this shit. But you gotta with human beings, you gotta give them what you don't like. But I like it when you did, and that way you can get more of that, because not only did you didn't bash him, you just told him I didn't like that. But I did like when you did this, though. You did listen to me. What I do appreciate, baby, is you did listen to me. You were concerned. You took time to listen to what I had to say. Even though you didn't agree with me, you still took time to listen to me and you cared about it. I feel like there's going to be some type of a celebration or something that will be coming up for you. And it feels like it's going to be a good thing. So I feel like you're getting ready to be able to celebrate with something. Yeah, and I feel like there's going to be some monies that come to you pretty soon. So I don't know if you're expecting a check, but I really feel like there's going to be some monies that come up for you. So it's all about you being there for the opportunity. You got to be in the right place at times. I think sometimes you are and sometimes you're not. So try to, and it's like, how do you say that, Amir? How do you tell somebody to be in the right place at the right time? I mean, how the fuck do I know what's the right place at the right time? But you gotta listen to yourself, and yourself is telling you, girl, you better go to that job interview, or you better take that. The company is offering you a better opportunity. Why would you take it? So I do what that said is, I see some opportunities coming your way, but you gotta go for those opportunities. Don't feel like you deserve those opportunities. You deserve those opportunities. Don't feel like you're not ready for responsibility, because you have been training for this responsibility. So it's up to you to go ahead and snatch the response to take that opportunity so you can get more. Yes, it's going to be more responsibilities for you, but I do feel like if you open the doorway, that more will come. So if you take this one, more responsibility, or I keep saying responsibilities, but opportunities, responsibilities come. But if you take this opportunity, then more will come to you. But you gotta take it. You gotta stop being afraid of succeeding. What's that about? You have to stop being afraid of success, because success is you. Success is you. And you have to be willing to say, I'm here. I'm here. It's me. And you got to really open up and just know that, damn, this is me. What's up? You know what I mean? You just sit back in your car, you be like, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to be ready to feel that energy when it comes to you, because sometimes, how when you on the brink of, I keep saying this, I've been saying this all day, because I've been feeling a lot of success for a lot of people. For like a lot of people, I've been feeling a lot of success. And it's just like when you're on the brink of success, you just be like, oh my God, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. It's like having a lottery ticket. It's like having a lottery ticket, and you got this lottery ticket, and you waiting on anticipation of them to read the numbers off, and you feeling your ever being that you're gonna get something. You might not win $1 million, but you're gonna walk away with 500. Now 500 is better than nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's kind of what your life is. Your life is getting that lottery ticket. You might not have won that $1 million, but you still won some good money. You still was able to put that money to use, and you was able to go into that energy. But I still see a lot of females surround the energy, just like that other caller. You all have that in common. Y'all have that. Y'all have a spiritual support system that surrounds y'all, and you got to start taking advantage of that. And if something bothers you, I say, I'm hurting. You got to start turning into your sisterhood. Your sisterhood is what you really need. Okay. And I already know you're going to travel. I saw that too, but you mentioned it, but I didn't want to feel like I was veggie backing off of that. But I do feel like during your travel, I feel like you're going to find something else out about yourself that's going to be even more powerful for you to be able to use. So definitely getting to know yourself in a way so you can help others, because your voice actually counts. Who you are actually counts. It's something about this relationship, though. It's something powerful about this relationship. I keep feeling it. I feel like I almost know this person that you're in a relationship with. But they definitely have it's just a thing where you have to be able to come together, because coming together as one is hard. And it does take work, and so you have to be willing to put the work in and not just run away, because I feel like he has running capabilities as well. He's a runner just like you, so that's why y'all can kind of understand each other, because both of you all are runners. Let's see what the hell else I was gonna say. Okay. Again, this is a spiritual year for you. Like everybody damn near that I did a reading for today. Not just y'all here on this live, but every damn person I did a reading for, they in a spiritual journey of their fucking life. So you are definitely in a spiritual. Excuse my curse. I do curse a lot because I just go with it. I don't know. Whatever. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But today I feel like cursing. Last time I didn't really curse that much. Today I'm cursing. So it's just an energy that's surrounding you that's very powerful, and I'm happy about it for you. I'm just, I don't know, I feel some happiness. I feel like there's going to be some accomplishments this year. There's going to be greater accomplishments this year than it was last year. Last year, yuck. This year, thumbs up. But last year was definitely a learning experience for you. This year, you're going to be able to experience a lot, reap a lot of your benefits. And it's going to involve this relationship. It's something about this relationship that I think is going to be great for you. And also working with that sisterhood and you all checking each other on yourselves. I think that's healthy for you. It feels like a very healthy relationship. Although you got that one little Betty in there that's always complaining about something, and your life is just not where it is. But you do need that because sometimes you be overly happy, and you do need somebody a little bit that's kind of balance you out with their bullshit. Because sometimes it is funny. So I so I think that's gonna be. I feel like it's still nevertheless. I don't know. Even with her being a little toxic, it still feels like that she's not a bad person. She still has a good being, but she just, I don't know, her looks just kind of sucks. She need to call me too. You need to give her my number. But you know what I'm talking about?
I have a few people in mind.
Right. So yeah, she's so toxic with her toxic ass and always trying to give advice. But she gives good advice though. But she toxic as hell. Toxic as hell. But she gives some good advice. But she need to take her own damn advice while she always trying to give somebody advice.
That part.
I'm like, girl, you ain't even got your shit together. How you gonna tell me what to do? You know? But you know, she's still a good being, though. She's still a good being, but sometimes you gotta take breaks from her. You gotta take breaks sometimes because sometimes she do the most. But it's still a healthy relationship, though. It's still. I don't know how the fuck it is, but I feel like it is. It's still a healthy relationship because you take breaks. If you was in her face every day, nah, that'd be bad. But talking to her, you know, when you talk to her, I think she's funny. She's funny. She's hilarious. But she's so toxic with her toxic behind. And I would never tell nobody to hang out with nobody toxic. But this particular person is something within her that I think helps and gets you to understand more about yourself. You're like, I don't want to be like this shit. So unfortunately, she's one of them ones that's good. And you learn from her on what you want to do. So after you get off the phone with her, you want to go kiss somebody. You know, somebody be like, give me a hug. So I feel a lot of good things for you this year. I see a lot of the windows of opportunity are pouring in. Check. So I don't know. I just feel good. I feel really good. I want to smile. I want to dance. So if I feel like that, I feel like a lot of opportunities. And this vacation is needed for you. But I do see some other things that you're gonna deal. Only my concern for real is that issue. But as long as you deal with it, it won't be nothing. You just can go like, you know, somebody be like, you just be like, okay, well, what would you like me to do? And they're like, well, I want you to do it. And they yelling. You just need to keep your voice calm. And you be like, well, what would you like me to do? So what's the problem? What can I help you? Okay, well, unfortunately, I'm not going to do that. I prefer, and I would appreciate if you not yell. I would appreciate if you not get loud. I would appreciate it if we just not deal with it like that. But again, it could be something that you're battling with, but it really feels like a physical person. It feels like a energy that you was battling with, and it feels like it came out as a physical being. I think that's all I got. Unless you got any questions.
So you want me to unpack that? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I work with all females in domestic violence. And I did have an issue a while back And it wasn't, the person that I was talking to me about it wasn't aggressive or anything like that, but it was just the way she presented the situation. And I was like, listen, you know, I am not this type of person. And I don't even know why we're having this conversation. Like, I feel like, and she was like, well, I'm just presenting the other side of it. And I said, the other side is false. Because I'm consistently myself, down to my flaws and all. So that was that. There is a meeting happening with the other side. That was more leadership. This is now people I supervise tomorrow. And the tensions are high amongst people, but that has not necessarily anything to do with me. I'm just there for support. So about the anger thing, I try not to be angry because stress will kill you. And I don't want to die too young for that. So I do have some good self-care practices. For the healing part, I don't really know. I think because of book I'm writing, that might have something to do with it because it's about my father.
You pulling your anger out. You pulling all that stuff and it's rebuilding.
I think you might be right because I've been saying that because I was supposed to finish and turn the book in May, and because of the emotions attached to the words written, it's been harder and harder to give it away, like the finished product. It's like I don't want to release that.
Let it go. You gotta let it go because if you keep, you know what I mean. It's just the last part of your healing process. I'm telling you. If you just go ahead and write it out, even if you cry, you like, I don't want to cry because I'm so happy. No, go ahead and let it rip. Be like, do just write. Because I wrote a book and it was very painful, and you just have to write it out because again, you don't even have to necessarily revisit that energy anymore, but you got to get it out now. It's better to get it out now than later on when you're older, you know.
Yeah. And then the friendship, well, I have all my circles of friends are female, so if I'm lending myself to what you're saying, it's probably the closest girl set that I have. And I won't say what we call ourselves for the sake of them reading or hearing this and then be like, wait, so I'm the trifling friend? And I'll be like, but I love you. So yeah, in terms of relationships, I get it. I'm here for it. I appreciate it. It was helpful.
Well, if you need me, I am only a phone call away.
I mean, with them opportunities coming out the window, I'll be calling you all the time. Be like, you can get an invite to my wedding.
Yes,
you saw my relationship. Can't say you can't come because you toxic, man. You toxic.
Well, dang, this is a Boo Boo on Kente episode.
No, I'm just playing. You can come.
Oh, thank you, because I love going to weddings.
I do too. I just want to go for the cake.
I just want the cake too.
I know, right? That's the best.
I want the cake and I want to wear the pretty dress.
And you said a cookie. When you said that, girl, I about slid out my chair. Cookie is my love language. Look, next to tacos, cookies. I'm here for it. So don't be and nothing.
Well, this has been an amazing episode. It's such a wonderful time with you ladies. Thank you so much for being so gracious and giving your gifts to our audience. And thank you for the people that participated in doing the readings. I think this was very eye-opening. I found it very interesting. I ain't gonna lie. Before my previous co-host brought this to me, I didn't think of it as demonic possession. I wasn't that far off, but I did have some negative thoughts about it, right? And credit to her for really opening my eyes to it, and it gave me a different look and as well as Blab too, where I met Amira at as well. There was a lot of people doing readings on there, and some legit, most not. you know, some of these people were funny though, they were hilarious. But I hopefully any people who out there who had questions. Of course, not everybody's going to be Dainie and Amira, and so you know what? Before we say goodbye, I want to get both of you guys' take on. We did this last week. We had a show as Amira was on it for life coaches, and I want to. We'll start with Dainie, and then we'll go to Amira. Um, what are some red flags to look for in going to a psychic or someone who claims to be a psychic a reader? What is something? How can you help somebody who's trying to choose what person to go to, on who not to go to, and what are some red flags? We'll start with you first, Dainie.
I think it's really important. It's very much like if you're choosing a health practitioner. You really have to choose someone who you vibe with well. So, I mean, they could have all the skills in the world and be able to tell you all of the things, but if you don't connect with them on a positive level, then you're wasting your time because you're not going to get what you need out of it. You have to be able to establish a good relationship with them. And I think you can really trust your own gut instinct too. Like, you'll know if somebody's authentic or not. You can trick yourself into thinking, oh yeah, this is great, but it's important to just kind of listen to your gut. And the other thing is, like, a lot of people will charge like exorbitant amounts of money for readings, and I just feel like that's really unethical. Like, for me, like with friends and stuff, I don't charge people. I'm just like, whatever. My online stuff, I charge like very minimal amount of money. It's not a lot. Maybe I should charge more. I don't know, but that's a whole other topic. But like some people, they'll charge like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and like, you really, like, to get what you need, you don't need to spend boatloads of cash. So that's another thing to watch out for, is people that are trying to get over on folks. So yeah, that's my advice.
And I'm gonna ask Amir the same question, but also there's a practice that I've heard about, is where you pay a certain amount of money to get a reading, and then they tell you, for another $1,000, I can unlock it even deeper. What do you think about people who do that kind of stuff too, as well?
No, not if there's a monetary thing attached to it. I mean, like, I know for me, a lot of the time I'll read for somebody. Like, I know a couple of the readings I did tonight, even, like, there's a lot more coming through than I'm able to say in like a 2-hour show, right? So you do want to sometimes open the opportunity to people, like, if you want to know more, get in touch with me or reach out or whatever. But if you're going to attach something like really crazy, like there's some sort of hook, then you have to kind of question that. I think, like, there is definitely value in what we're doing, because it does take time and energy and study and skill and all that. So there's definitely value to what we offer. So I don't think it's a bad thing to charge. But if what they're charging is crazy expensive, you might want to think twice.
Okay. What about you, Amira? What are some red flags?
I'm charging. I'm like,
it's good to charge. I
know. I'm just teasing you. I'm just. Well, let me tell you. I want to say that. No, Dainie, I'm just teasing you. I like you.
Oh, thank you. I like you too. I want you to do a reading for me. I mean, I'm sitting here like, man, I want my reading too.
Okay. So here's a couple of things. I'm just gonna share the story. I promise I'm gonna make this really quick, because y'all know I am long-winded. I'm trying to really be quick. Okay. But nevertheless, I remember when I was getting certified in life coaching, or getting my degree in one of these life coaching courses. And there was like, basically, you should charge or whatever to even talk to people. Okay. So when I first started out, I probably charged a little bit of something, and I found myself like being on the phone for hours, yo. And I'm like, I'm no. I'm not. You're gonna pay for my time. And then I started working a psychic line. I did a psychic line. They fired me because they said I was too honest. I ain't gonna tell y'all what psychic line it is, but just note to be careful about those psychic lines. But you will find a couple people that really know what they're doing. But on the psychic networks, a lot of times they will tell you to just tell them what they want to hear. You know, so that's a red flag. First of all, one of the things that I've noticed is when people tell you, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put this because I don't want to offend anybody. Okay, be careful now. I may give a reading, and I'm gonna like when I'm saying, since your chakras are off, your chakras are jacked up. I'm just being honest. I ain't just trying to get no money. You can go come to me, get your chakra cleared, don't, or just walk around with them and do whatever, or go somebody else. They messed up. Okay. So that's not me necessarily trying to get more money. That's me telling you that your shit is jacked and you need to fix it. Y'all have to excuse how I talk sometimes, but that's just real. So you have to be mindful of that kind of stuff. But if you go to somebody, because I had one client that was going, and then you have to be careful about letting multiple people read you, because you don't want all that psychic energy within your energy. You have to be careful of that because you don't know what their intentions are. You know how, Dainie, you talked earlier about, people's intentions. You got to be careful of people's intentions because they may have the psychic gift or the psychic abilities to be able to tell you about yourself, your future, past, present, or whatever. They may have that, but at the same time, they are not righteous and they're not trying to help you. They're trying to destroy you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a red flag. You got to be careful about what they tell you. Now, if they go to you and you go to them and they're like, well, yeah, your husband's cheating on you. And you know for a fact that he ain't cheating on you, or you know what I mean, or they try to tell you something, or the evidence, then you have to be mindful of that because that can put you in a bad situation. Because I remember reading about this man, not read, but I know this man personally. I'm lying when I said reading. I know this man personally. He talked to a psychic hotline and he went home and whooped his wife's butt because they had told him he was cheating. She wasn't even cheating. She wasn't even cheating. So you have to be careful of that. So the red flags, when you already know something now, it's different. Sometimes you have to kind of listen to what somebody say. Sometimes people be legitimately good, but it may not happen right then and there. So sometimes you have to allow time. But if you already know something, like if somebody said, well, you've been molested, you know for a fact, you have to be careful when somebody lying to you is what I'm trying to say. Okay, you have to be careful of lies. You have to be careful of people's intentions. You can't go to everybody. Okay, now you may want to pick two good readers to work with. Two good readers.
Y'all too.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wouldn't extend myself out to anybody else. Okay.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on the prices. Now I'm not paying no $1,000 for no damn reading.
Nope.
Okay, I'm not doing that. It has to be it should be well within a certain period. And then I would like to get readings from people that have rates based upon time. So for example, let's say they are like, I do readings for 15 minutes for $15 or something like that. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Or I do $35. I do $25.99 for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? You want to get with somebody that does it in that range where you feel like you're getting something. They're getting something out of it because they're getting paid. And you have to go with somebody that loves doing it. You don't want to go to no psychic that's nasty. That oh God, I gotta deal with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lying now. You want to go to somebody that's excited, that's happy, that loves what they're doing, that's excited about their job. Somebody, because I love doing it. I'm telling you, my king will be coming home and be like, damn, you still doing the reading? You going to wrap that up? Because he know I love it. I love doing it. I love working with people. I love healing. I love the it's not just about the money. Like I like to get paid because I gotta pay my bills and shit. But at the same time, I love helping people. I love that feeling when someone's like, oh my God. Dainie, you felt it. I heard her and she's like, yes, I got him, yes. You know what I mean? You want to go to somebody that's excited, that loves you, that'll love you. You know what I'm saying? I have all walks of life. I have white clients, I have black clients, I have Korean clients, I have all kind of clients. And you want to go to someone that's very diverse, that's not just gonna be like, I'm not working with this kind of group of people. I'm not gonna work with this. I'm not gonna work with these people. You want to go to somebody that's diverse, that's happy, that's excited, that has had issues in their life, that keep it real. You don't want to go with somebody that don't want to build with you because they'll be closed off. They'll be spiritually closed off. So you want to go to somebody that's very open spiritually. And then most of all, you want to go to somebody who know what the hell they doing. I not only, yes, it's a gift, right? But I would go to somebody that also have been certified to do it. So even if they certified through another psychic, that's okay. That still counts. You want to go to somebody that has some formal training. Your people taught you, Dainie. Your people taught you. So you want to go, you've been certified. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Just
I would love to get some sort of like formal education on it. I've never really found anything that really resonated with me. So I just practice it. And you're gonna give me the facts? Okay.
Anyway, so but you still have some type of training. You understand what I'm saying? So people like that, you want to go to people that are happy about. You see how Dainie's happy, I'm happy. You don't want to go to, oh shit. You know what I mean? You want to go to somebody who has a nice attitude that's happy about themselves.
Positive energy.
You're right. Positive energy. Stop trying to take my words. That's right, Dainie. I like that. Positive energy. But you want to go to somebody that knows what they're doing. You want to go to somebody that referral. Okay? Word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's how mostly you're going to get clients. Word of mouth. If someone knows that you did good, if you did this other person good. That's how all my clients, social media really didn't do it for me. I got all my majority of my clients was through word of mouth because they heard that this person and that person and that person and that person. Because I had a healing center before I even really had local clients. Because I have my own healing center, but I don't have my name out there. My name is not on my healing center. When people come in, they have to know that I'm there. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So you have to elude certain energy. So you have to attract. You know what I'm saying? So if you're full of shit and you attract somebody full of shit, then that's what it is. That's what happens because that's what you're attracted. You have to be mindful about who you talk to. And you have to be with people who can not just use cards. You know, I would choose a person not just using cards, not just using these cards. I got all kind of cards. I got this card. I got like 1,000 cards. But ask me how many of them I use. Sometimes I play with them a lot. You know, when I work with other people, I'm working with myself. But you just have to start. You want to go to people that have a natural ability, not just based off the code.
It's just a tool, right?
So, it's a tool. It's a tool. Like I even pull out my pendulum, or I could take off this necklace and use my necklace as a pendulum.
Right.
You know, you have to be able, even with doing numerology, you should be able to do that naturally. If you don't do it for anybody for a charge. You know what I mean? So I would recommend that you go to somebody that can do multiple things. I wouldn't just go to a person that can just do one thing because you might have this issue. Then you're going to be going here. You're going to be wasting gas in your time and going here. So try to go to somebody. I would choose somebody that's multiple, diverse, and understanding. So that's my recommendation. Yeah, I'm long-winded. That's why people be on the phone with me longer than what they supposed to. And that psychic line, I had to hear. That's I did learn from that psychic line. One thing I did learn was to wrap them times up. I'd be like, okay, gotta pay. I'm like, you ready? Okay, and then they'll start up like, now I tell what I tell them, and then they'll be like, oh my God, I need to know more. Okay, well, you gotta pay for more. You know what I mean? And so that taught me how to schedule my timing, because when I first started, I was horrible on the times, boy. People on the phone with me with $10 for 2 hours. I'd be like, wait a minute, I can't keep doing this shit.
Right.
So
did you have like a name like Mistress Amira, or
actually my name was Psychic Amira on there. So if y'all see somebody that says they Psychic Amira on one of these hotlines, they a damn lie, because that was me. And then I had a fake picture. It wasn't even my picture. It was like this really lighter skinned woman. I was like, that don't look like me. But anyway, yeah, so Psychic Amira.
I love it. Psychic Amira. I love
it was great. Yeah. So yeah, just choose somebody that and then you gotta feel like I agree with my friend too. You gotta agree, you gotta find somebody that your energy connects with. If your energy don't connect with them, don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be mad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm done. Shit, I ain't gonna keep
all right. Once again, I want to thank our lovely ladies that came on, and of course the audience. Thank you so much. This was our longest episode of the year. So
sorry.
How fitting.
Yes, I'm about to probably break the video up in half.
You should have cut me off.
No, it was great. It's wonderful. But I want to thank everybody for participating, and the listeners, of course, Dainie and Psychic Amira, for participating. And one thing I want to before we ask you guys about how we can get you and all of that good stuff is as you guys know, out here in the Los Angeles area, mainly Malibu, there's these terrible fires that have been going on, and it's really a tragic situation. I'm from West Los Angeles, so I'm in the city, so it's really not affecting me. That's more in the outskirts, so I'm totally fine, not close at all to where that situation is. But at certain times when I drive around, you can get to a place where you smell the smoke and stuff like that, but I'm completely not in any kind of danger at all. So I know I put on Facebook that I was safe, because people kept asking me about was I okay, but then they took it as, oh, wait a minute, did he evacuate or something? No, I'm 100% good. But please pray for those who lost their homes, who lost their lives. It's really really a tragic thing, and I can see it from a distance, and it's quite a sight. And there's been a couple up in Northern California, a whole city burnt down to the ground. So it's really crazy thing, but definitely I'm completely fine. So I live there's nothing but buildings around here. So if there's a fire here, it's really some problems. But I'm good though. But thank you for all those people who were asking about my safety. But pretty much, if you hear about a fire in Los Angeles or in the surrounding areas, I can guarantee you it won't be where I live at. Okay, so got that business out the way. I'm going to start off with you, Dainie. How can people get you on social media? And I know you have a website as well. Tell us about your website.
I keep taking my website up and down, and it's actually down right now. So I'm not even going to mention that. I'm kind of working on it. I may or may not put it back up. I'm kind of changing my strategy a bit with that. So, but on social media, you can definitely find me on Facebook, and I'm also on Second Life. It's Dainie Fraina. So that's how you find me on the internet.
Cool. All right, Amira, how can people get you on social media? And tell us about how we can get you as a life coach. You sell different wares, and I think you sell scents as well, right?
I sell everything down there: crystals, incense, healing oils, washes, cleanses, herbs. I mean, what you want, I got it.
You know what? I'm gonna do some Christmas shopping with you, Amira.
I work out a good deal for you, because you always support me, so I gotta support you. So okay, to reach me, y'all can go onto my Facebook. I have 3 different Facebooks, but I'm not on all of them. So it's Dr. DR, because I'm a doctor now. Dr. Amira AMIRAH. I gotta look at to spell my name. That's bad. Sankofa SANKOFA Kweli KWELI. Okay. To spell that, I just legally changed it. That's why, y'all. So so that you can find me on Facebook. You can also find me on, I think, Instagram. I think it's Ask Life Coach or something like that. I don't know. Just type in Dr. Mary, you'll find me. And my website is www.ask314life.com. I think my number is 502-208-9142. Yeah, that's me.
All right. And you know what? I forgot to say this, and I'm sure that Shannon hasn't realized this, but Dainie was the one who won your book.
Yes, that's right. I did. I didn't get it yet, though.
I am so excited. Send me your information, which I said ask for your number, but send me your address in our chat. You're actually getting more than just that book, but you'll see it when you get it in the mail.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, I will do that. Definitely. Thank you.
I don't know if she wants to put her address in this chat.
I don't think she wants
that. No, our chat. It's just me, you, Amira, and Dainie. I was like,
I'm gonna be like this. Hi, Dainie.
Hey, everybody.
You just show up at my door.
We showing up at your house.
Google mapping me.
She's a guard dog that'll protect.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I come with cookies and popcorn and wine.
I like it. I like it.
All right. So
it sounds like a party.
So Shannon, how can people get you in social media and tell us about of course the book? We want the book, but you have other books as well. And you know what? For the 100th episode, I'm putting this out here now. I'm asking for this now. It's in 2 weeks. Will you do a poem for us?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. I mean, all you have to do is ask.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Have not because you asked not.
All right. We're saving it. See, I had to save it for the important 100th episode.
Now I got to come with some sauce. Okay.
All right.
Well, on social media, Shannon Ford Jefferson, Ford like the president, - Jefferson like the president. And I am the only one, so you'll have no problem finding me. I'm on Twitter again, so you can find me there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is mainly where I'm at, but I'll respond to any of those outlets. I don't understand Snapchat, so don't even ask me to do that. My books are all on Amazon. I have a total of 5. They're all poetry. I'm currently working on my 6th book, which is the one Amira told all my business about. It's entitled Dismantling Daddy Dysfunctions and All the Men I Loved After Him. And it will be out in 2019. Our publisher is doing the Year of the Woman. So it'll be a part of that initiative. Y'all just pray for me because apparently I still need to heal. And that's about it. Y'all can find me here every Monday, except for the next 2 Mondays.
Now, let me ask you this question. Should those guys be sweating bullets, all the men you loved after your pops, that they're going to be included in this book?
I wouldn't necessarily say sweating bullets. I'm pretty a transparent person, so a lot of those poems I've given kind of a preview on Facebook. If people follow me on Facebook or if people are friends with me on Facebook, sometimes I would throw out snippets. And then if you're in the writing group, Kente's writing group, Black Artists Connected, writers, Black Artists Connected, then you've seen some of the work there as well. But I mean, there are several conversations that lend themselves a breakup over voicemail. I mean, there's a lot of interesting tidbits. I'm just going to say that. So no, they shouldn't be sweating bullets. They need to own it. I owned it. Now other people can own it when it comes out.
Dang, she breaking up with people over voicemail. You ain't right.
I was 10.
10. You know, dating
I
at 10.
was 10. And his mama, she hated me for a while. But that's the first poem. So, yeah.
All right. 10 dating. Wow. All right. So
Yeah, my mama didn't like that. She was like, "You're not dating." We didn't know no better.
that is hilarious. All right. So you can get me at Kente F on Twitter. On Instagram, I'm Kente Ferguson. That's KinteFergerson. And of course, you can go to our website. That's indyradio.org. That's indyradio.org. Tomorrow night, because we weren't on last night, because I had the pleasure of going to Life Coach Leah's event, Laugh at My Calibration, which was a stand-up. It was a bunch of stand-up comedians showcase, which was awesome. I got a chance to meet Life Coach Leah in person. She's a wonderful person, and we all had a great time at that event. So we didn't do our show last night talking about The Walking Dead. So that'll be tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, and then you guys will be off the next 2 weeks, and on December 3rd, we will be back for the 100th episode of Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show. Thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your week, and God bless. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.
Wait. We are still live.
Where Kente go? We still live.
That's okay. December 3rd is 2 days after my birthday, so I'm gonna need everybody to be there. Sing a big happy birthday. Oh, we're gonna have a party. And I share my birthday with 3 of my cousins, so it's gonna be amazing.